Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Pitch. I'm Kristian Jack. My guest this week is Stefano Eustáquio, who joined me recently from his home in Portugal before making his way to Vancouver for the current international camp. Born in Leamington, Ontario, we talk about his journey back to Portugal, why he chose Canada, that debut versus the United States, and how brilliant he was, of course, at the Gold Cup. Clearly, we also get into this remarkable run by Canada to the World Cup in Qatar 2022. How he played a pivotal role inside that. And of course, with that comes some great stories. When he started to believe, how he juggled testing positive for COVID, his move to Porto, and a key World Cup qualifying window all at the same time. And of course, the story behind that pass, his remarkable ball from a free kick in Edmonton that was finished by Kyle Larin. The goal that led to the celebrations in the snowbank, but would never have happened without, of course, Eustáquio's brilliance. Find out how and why he did exactly what he did that night. Stefan started our chat worried a little bit about his English, but as you'll get to know here, he is a warm, kind person with a real drive to reach the very top. We talk about winning the double with Porto and the new challenges that brings. Why he is now, of course, a big York United fan in the Canadian Premier League. And we have some fun at the end with some quick fire questions. Sit back and enjoy a very unique interview with a player Canada clearly needs to know more about. Here's my interview with Stefano Eustáquio. Steph, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been a pretty special week for you. I know you've just been crowned a double winner with Porto. How's things going for you this week?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm in heaven, to be honest. It's my first two titles. Of course, if there was a title for first in CONCACAF, I would want that too. But there wasn't a trophy. But we have it the same way. I've been living the dream. Playing at the best club in Portugal. Having two titles at this time, 25. I think I can go for more. So let's keep dreaming.
Let's keep dreaming. I'd imagine you don't want to wake up after what's happened with Canada this season and then with Porto. We'll get to the Canada start in a second. But you'd mentioned it there. Some of your minutes have been a little bit more limited, although you played a ton of football anyway. So I'm sure that's not necessarily a massive setback. But what's the environment like playing in a club like that is just a winning club?
It's so different, like the mentality of even the players. Like I say this a lot to my friends, it's my family. Like everybody's locked in. It's a little bit like the men's national team. Like there's no space for error. And then the way the coach and all the staff, like there's more staff, there's more directors, there's more everything, there's more money, there's more conditions, and all of that. It's an amazing opportunity. I mean, I grow every day. Of course, as you said, the minutes haven't come along, but I mean, I don't mind being the first Canadian to play at a big level to win trophies, because like if I do it, if I'm the first, obviously I'm going to open the path for other Canadians in the future to have the opportunity. And I mean, things are never easy, of course, but I rather work hard and try to have more minutes with Porto than just go back to a medium low level and play all the time, because like I grow to a certain point, but I believe in Porto I can grow way more.
Yeah, it's a great point. So you lift two trophies. You just mentioned it, the league title, the cup. What's that like? Talk us through that celebration as a group when you're with that group. And I know you joined in January. We'll get to that in a second. But, that the culmination of a dream, as an ambition, as a collective group to then go out there and lift that with your buddies. What's that like?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously coming in January, even like on a loan as my situation, like you don't want to move nothing, you don't want to destroy nothing, you just want to go along with it, so like obviously the first weeks was to try to see how things are going, how do they move, how do they operate, how the players are, personalities and everything, the coach's personalities, try to study him a little bit. And then once we keep it going, it's just I'm there to help. If it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, if there's no minutes, obviously during the week I have to be very good so my colleagues are good as well.
Right.
And that's the thing, that the more a good player I am, the more good players they are, and they're ready for the weekend. So I mean, obviously at this time I'm trying to push them, but in the future, of course, other people are going to try to push me, and it's good for everybody. So yeah, to finish with both cups, both domestic cups, it's very, very good. I mean, as I said, it's a dream come true.
It's a dream, and it's a pleasure to talk to you about it. Talk us through, now it's happened, I guess we can enlighten people a little bit more, what that January was like, because it goes to almost the very end of the month. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think it seemed inevitable, but it was very, very precarious at times whether you're going to get there. And then bang, the international window opens up and everyone's asking, is Stefano Eustáquio coming over? Then there's, thoughts about him being ill and sick. And then is he coming to play in Hamilton? And you're getting your dream move at the same time. Like, how difficult is that to digest and take all that in? What was that like?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because I did the COVID test to travel to the national team because I had no symptoms. And then I think I was supposed to do the camp, come back and sign with Porto. But at the time I did the COVID test to travel, I had no symptoms and I just, it was positive. So I'm like, wow, this is a big situation because I can't go to the men's national team. I'm probably going to lose 2 games that I did. There's going to be 1 game. I think I played in El Salvador. There's going to be 1 game in El Salvador. But still I have to sign with Porto. And then I was in a hard situation. I talked with John about this because obviously when you sign with a big club, you kind of want to do everything they want. You kind of, want to be on the same page as them. And me having COVID and not being able to train with them for 7 days and then coming back to them and saying, okay, guys, I'm here, but I have to go play El Salvador. So see you later. That was a very hard situation for me. So I try to manage things as I could. And I mean, at the end of the day, they were very nice people. They comprehend everything. So I had COVID, 7 days at home, trained at home, went there in the morning. Hello, I'm here. I'm your new player, but I have to go to El Salvador. And then in the afternoon, I just traveled to El Salvador. We won. I played 70-something minutes, came back, and continued my history with Porto. That was it.
Remarkable story. Wow. Not the first time, by the way, that like the heart has been and the head's been battling Canada versus Portugal. That's almost been a theme of your life, no? A little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just, I'm 25 years old. I have the legs to run now. If I don't run when I'm 25, when I'm going to run. So I'm not going to wait for 30, 35. No. As long as I can run, I'm going to run. And if I have to do all these trips, it's kind of hard for me now that I'm talking to you, like we're going to play in Vancouver on the Pacific side and I'm in Portugal. I'm going to do a 12-hour and 30-minute flight to San Francisco. And then I'm going to travel more 2 hours and 30 minutes to Vancouver. And people don't acknowledge that because, a lot of players play in Canada. It's just right there, 3 hours, 4 hours. But the European players, it's a very hard push. And imagine this during the competition. So let's say there was times, to be honest, where I was at Paços de Ferreira, and obviously we probably can play Sunday night, and there's Thursday a game in Toronto, or there's Thursday a game in Mexico. And I play Sunday, travel Monday morning, arrive wherever on that Monday, have jet lag, and then recover probably Tuesday, do set pieces on Wednesday, and go again on Thursday. And then go again on Sunday, and then go again on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever, and then come back. And then on the weekend, we have a game, like a club game, and we just have to perform. And sometimes people don't see that, they just want like, okay, he's here, he has to perform better or whatever. But like, it's very hard. Physically, it's very hard for us. And I think everybody has done an exceptional job.
Yeah, you've done an exceptional job. And let me just say, I'm glad you were there for that set pieces training, mate, because
thank you.
Canada's set pieces are exceptional thanks to you. We'll get onto that in a second. I want to talk about a specific set piece in Edmonton. Talk to me about this love affair with this team. I mean, I was there for your debut in Orlando, and I remember the game didn't go very well, but I can tell you this now. I'm on the side going, please put him on the pitch. Can we please cap tie this guy right now?
Yeah.
Because at the time, there was still this debate. Where are you going to go? Could you play for Portugal? I know now, speaking to you and others, your heart was fully in then. You were completely committed at that point, and there was never any danger. But for those of us who love the national team, obviously we wanted you to get involved. But from that moment, and that's not that long ago, Steph, October 2019.
Yeah.
And now, how's this been? And I'd imagine it's just unbelievably exceeded all expectations.
Yeah, for sure. At the time, like if I'd never wanted to play with Canada, I would never go to a camp. That's the first thing. I don't like the idea of like people going to camps just to try to see how it is and then make the decision. No, like we're talking about a country, we're talking about nationality. I think like if you grab it, you grab it. You do your homework at home, and then you go for it like forever. So that was my mind. And I mean, yeah, I played, I think, around 20 minutes that game. It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. I came back from my ACL rehab and everything. So it was a very interesting moment. But at the time, as you said, Canada was still growing. You know, John was still moving pieces and everything. I was at the camp back in Toronto against the US where we won 2-0. And that was after my ACL rehab. That was a month before, I think. And I'm training like a crazy guy, you know, like because everything is new. I'm motivated. I want to show John I'm here. I'm going there. I'm practicing. I'm doing everything okay. And then the medical staff comes to me and say, okay, you can't play. This was 1 month before. I'm like, I can't play. Why can't I play? You don't see me training? Like, I've been training good. I run. I do everything. I jump. I do everything John wants, like positioning and everything. Why can't I can't play? It's too soon.
Right.
It's too soon. You can't play. I'm like, are you serious? And then John came talk to me. He's like, Stefan, you have been one of the best players training here in camp. And I asked him, John, why can't I play then? Like, I've shown you in training what I've been doing. How can I play? And he says, you know, like if you go in and something happens, I will never forget myself. So it's hard for me as well, but I'd rather wait a month and then you start your history with me together and like go straight forward than me putting you in this game and something happens and probably you're never gonna come back or gonna come to your level. So it was hard to digest, but at the same time, I know he was caring about me and the medical stuff. And today I say thank you because I didn't play that game and I came against the US in Orlando. And it's a good story. But to answer your question, I think like you never know you can never project like what the country or what the future can be. And at the time, everything was so like moving around. And as I said, like it was very hard to think about a future because we were living our present because we had a lot of things to grow on and everything. But I mean, it has been crazy, to be honest. It has been crazy
In a great way. And you've been a massive part of that. So let's talk about, you know, I suppose March 2021 comes along and the World Cup qualifiers start. Initially, you've got, you know, the prelim groups to get through, which were never easy. No one ever imagined it. But in the end, you guys got through that. And then the Gold Cup comes and you were absolutely immense in the Gold Cup. You get your goals. You were brilliant against Costa Rica in that game. When did you start to feel, one, that you were becoming a major pillar to this team, like an essential player? When did you feel like you were believing in this team as someone that you can play every game? And when did you start thinking, was there a moment, this is clicking, this is going to happen for us right now? Was there moments like that?
Yeah, for sure. At the first stage, I don't want to disrespect nobody, but like the teams we've played, they don't have the quality that we have. Even in our bad day, we could have won that easily. So we went to the second stage and Haiti was kind of I won't say a problem, but it was like a little bit of there was a doubt because we were going to Haiti to play, you know, the weather and it was artificial grass and the team wasn't at that level yet. And, you know, like we want to be like on point and we want to do everything good. And we knew that at the time we couldn't suffer goals. We won 1-0 in Haiti with the feeling that back in Chicago, we were going to destroy them. But as I said, we were far from the level we are now. And we won 4-0. So like Octagon was a very good accomplishment. And then the Gold Cup comes and it's kind of like that feeling where we lose Fonzie, I think, after the first game, like before the first game.
Yep.
Jonathan David is not here. Atiba is not here. If you can help me out, I don't know other players. But at the time, I think Alistair was like starting. Tejan was starting. You know, like it's all this doubt, but there was a certain point where we look at each other and like, wow, if we're like this without Fonzie, without Jonathan David, you know, Tejan's coming up and everything. Atiba's not here. It was me and Mac back then. Like, imagine with those guys, what can happen. But at the same time, there's a doubt where, you know, like, okay, there's not the quality that they have. It's not here. They're not here. That's why we're so, like, that's why our brotherhood is this strong, because we know that our big guns are not here. So let's stay together.
Right.
And there was this doubt when the Octagon come, where when they are available, how is this gonna be? You know, are we gonna play for them? Are we gonna always pass them the ball? Are we always gonna like do differently because you know the big guns are here and everything's so strange now? And I think like we did that very well, and you know John has a word on that, of course, and just the humbleness of Fonzie, humbleness of Jonathan, David, Kyle, to understand that like, okay, we're here to help, you know, we're here to defend, we're here to make that extra mile, we're here to do that all. And I think the turning point was when we lost against Mexico at the semifinal of the Gold Cup, and like we kind of felt that we were on their level without our big guns. And that's where we started to think like, okay, you know, like Octagon's coming and this is going to be fun. You know what I mean?
I love that answer. And, you know, Mark Anthony Kay told me actually on the pitch after that game, he turned to John Herdman, you know, you just got beat with a 99th minute goal, you know, crushing. And like there were smiles there a little bit. And he turned to John Herdman and said, we are qualifying for the World Cup. It's amazing that birth and that dream and the positivity came out. And that's so often in sport, no, that sometimes it comes out of loss. A loss can learn, you can teach so much right away. Yeah. And that loss that day, and also Osorio told me the same thing, how quickly the switch came on. It wasn't, you know, unbelievable amount of dejection. It was that belief that you turned to. It sounds like it was more than just a few of you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I believe I remember when we suffered that 2-1, it was crazy. Mexico was going crazy, a lot of fans there. And like, we still had a minute, you know? So I remember I'm running to put the ball in the midfield, and somebody throws the ball in. So there's a second ball, and I see the ball coming. I run to that ball and I kick it out. And then when I turn to go to the midfield, their forward is grabbing the ball. Funes Mori is grabbing the ball and kicking that out, you know? And at the time, we just want to, like, there's a fight and everything. But, like, now thinking about it, how bad did they want that game to end, that they didn't want no ball inside the field? You know what I mean? Like, finish this because, you know, they're strong. Like, even if it's a minute or two, they can come back. And at that time, like, as you said, like, we knew that Octagon was going to be fun because, like, we had the quality to beat them. And that's what we did. There was a moment in the Octagon where we went to play Mexico, and Tecatito Corona plays for Porto. Herrera plays for Atletico Madrid, and one more who was it? No, it was me, Tecatito, and Herrera. We came at the same flight because we went straight from Porto to Mexico. He looks at me, and I'm talking to him. Of course, he looks at me. He's like, "Is everybody going to the game?" And obviously, he's talking about Fonzie, Jonathan, David, Kyle, and I look at him. I said, "Yeah, everybody's going." He's like, "It's gonna be a hard game. It's gonna be a hard game." And I look at him. I'm like, "It's gonna be a hard game." Yes. So at that time, they already knew that our team was at that level, and that's amazing.
And how quickly do you tell your teammates the moment you land? You're like, "Look, guys, we've got them in our heads here a little bit. They're in our heads, you know."
Yeah, for sure. I went there and I talked to John, and I had a 1v1 meeting with Eric and John because of this midfield positioning thing. And I told him, "John, I came with Corona, and like they're afraid of us." And then he grabbed that and said it before the game for us to, like, in a motivational way, and like people starting like thinking about it, and like, yeah, they're afraid. Sometimes they don't show, but they're afraid.
You're a pretty even keel guy, and I love these chats because we get to know each other more, and more importantly, the viewers and the fans get to know you more. But some people may not know, Steph, that you went to Mexico and you played for Cruz Azul, and you alluded to the knee injury earlier, the ACL, you know, in the Estadio Azteca. Literally in your debut, you know, and then you're taken off in that car. I never forget it. I've been there, that beautiful tunnel with all the history, and you're in tears at that moment. I'm not necessarily bringing that up because I want to hear what you think about that, but was that kind of ever motivated in you in games against Mexico? Like almost like these guys didn't get to see the real me when I was out there, or was that ever a factor individually for you against them?
Yeah, for sure. To be honest, during that time where like it was the second game that I got my injury, and you know, you go with so much expectations of doing good. You know, you're in a different country at the time, and even now, like European players that go to Mexico, they put them like on top, you know. And I'm just a kid that played at Chavez with 21 years old. Like, I don't even know what's going on. But at the time, it was big in Mexico.
Right.
So I go there, and like, I start seeing the news, and I start seeing like, holy, like, this is a big thing for them. You know, they're waiting a lot for me. I'm just a kid. I'm 21, 22 years old at the time. I think I'm like, wow. I was sold for 3.5 million for 50%. That's like a 7 million transfer.
Yep.
And like at the time, it didn't hit me. You know, like I'm 22, 7 million. Okay, let's go, let's run, whatever. And to have my ACL done on the second game, and then do my 9-month rehab, and like they don't even care. Like you're injured, and all they say is that, oh, you came here to rob money, you came here to not play for Mexico, you came here on vacation. And like I'm 22 at the time, and I'm like, what is this? Like it's not my fault, you know, but like, okay, let's see. I'm gonna come back stronger, and I'm gonna play for you guys, and then you guys are gonna see. But at the time, a different coach came, and like things started going downhill. And I came to Portugal with the idea, like, I don't want to show the Mexicans they were wrong. I want to prove myself I'm good, you know. And my focus was only on me. And like, I think I did a very good job, because I feel better than I was before. And then the Mexico game comes in the Azteca, and that's the first time I stepped the field after my ACL injury. I was afraid. I was afraid because, like, could this happen again? Why did I have my ACL here? Like, is it the grass? Is it the atmosphere? Like, is it everything? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know what to expect. I was afraid, to be honest, you know?
Really?
And then I was, to be honest, because like, you never know what can happen. The future never tells you. But to come the first time to that stadium where I had my injury and play again in front of all these Mexicans that were waiting so much for me. But at the time, I look around and I see all my brothers there. I'm like, I'm good. You know, I'm good.
You were good. And Osorio got the goal, and you guys more than got what you needed from that game. And then Mexico come to Edmonton, right? And the rest is history. It's been dubbed Iceteca. You know, I was there. We all saw it. Your thoughts on that one? My thoughts are your free kick, because your delivery from that free kick is absolutely sensational. It is, without doubt, the pass of the entire World Cup qualifying campaign for me. The delivery, but also just the stance after a little bit of the. I love that. Talk to me a little bit about that, because the celebration is immense. How everyone talks about Adakubi in the snowbank, but you're just standing there as just like, yep, stand and deliver, my friend.
Yeah, no, it was a good ball at the time. I don't know if you, probably not, but I put my body in a certain way that, like, the angle of the ball, like, depends on your body. If you're too close, it's gonna go more open. Or if you're too to the right, it's gonna go more to the first post. So I put my body in a certain position where I, like, during when the ref is talking or whatever, I kind of feel like the way my body was and me running to the ball, this ball's gonna go way open, like second post, third post. And there was a time, you can see the video again. There was a time where I just do a little step to the right, you know, just like a little step to the right before taking the free kick. And then when I did that step, I felt this is the right position. If you put your body in a certain position, in a certain angle, it can have a big saying if the ball goes to the first post, the second post, the way it goes, if it's tense, if it's not, if it goes quick or not. And there's a point on the video, a lot of people don't see this, but there's a certain point where my body's in a certain way, and I feel like if I go to the ball, it's going to go second post, third post. And there's a little, I do a little step to the right, like a very small step. And when I do that step, I feel like, okay, I'm in the good position, you know? And there's a thing with these Nike balls. I'm not even going to lie. These Nike balls on artificial grass, you kind of can hit it like as hard as you can. It's not going to go way up. So it's a very big distance. You know, the Edmonton field is very big. It's a very big distance. And I'm like, I'm just going to put full strength on this, try to put it in the second post. Because, you know, as you see in the video, Edson Alvarez is with Steven Vitoria. And because like during the games before, my focus was always on Steven Vitoria. So I see him with Edson Alvarez. They're grabbing. Steven Vitoria pushes into the third post. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is a good gap. So I put my body on that certain position. I'm like, I'm just gonna go hit it. And I hit the ball. And I just hear Max Crepeau saying, "What a ball!" And the ball travels, goes to Kyle, scores. I just do this and look at him. That's me looking at him. And he comes running to me and he grabs me. So that's the story behind it.
I love that story. I actually have it on my phone. I'll send it to you. It's just
please.
I will send it to you. And there's like 45,000 people going crazy, and the coolest man in the stadium is you, just standing there. I just love it, and everyone goes nuts. It's a really special, an iconic Canadian soccer moment, no question about it.
Nice, thank you.
I want to ask you. Let me dive into this while I've got you. Then on you as a player, like who are your greatest mentors? Tactically, who did you look at when you were younger? Because, and again, I'm not blowing smoke because you're here. I said it to you the day that you qualified. We've waited a long time for a player like you in this country. And John Herman would say it. Anybody who knows anything about the sport in this country would say, we haven't produced many, if any, very many Stefano Eustáquios in this country, my friend. So who are your influences when you were younger? I know you were born in Leamington, Ontario, but you grew up in Portugal. Talk to me a little bit about that. Mentors, your father, a different coach.
Yeah, my father played football, but not in a professional level. But he knows what it takes to be a professional footballer, and he says a lot of times it's not hard to get there. It's hard to stay there. That's what he always says to me, And like when it comes to like inside the field, all he asks is like commitment and everything. But the guy that technically really wanted me to like pass my level was my brother, Mauro Eustáquio. He's a coach at York. He used to play with the national team under 20, under 23, played at Ottawa, Edmonton. And he was the guy that, okay, after the game, let's sit down in our living room and see your game again. And then we will stop in each moment, see what I did good, see what I did bad. He was saying, oh, you have to turn here, look before, whatever. And then there was a certain point where I was playing at a certain level, and like I had luck because all my colleagues, like, they love me, and I had older colleagues that couldn't make this level, and they looked at me like, okay, I want to help this kid because like his commitment is so big and he has the quality that I want to help this kid. And at the third division, I had like 3, 4, 5 friends of mine in that team that always like helping me every day, helping me. So I grew a lot. Go to a second league team, Leções, have the same friends, have like different friends, but with the same commitment. I'm gonna help this kid, and I gather information. I go to the first division, the same, and I'm like, wow, like all the juice that I've been drinking from these guys, makes me at a certain level. And then like my brother, always calling, I saw your game. Let's talk about this situation. Why did you do this pass? Like for me, that was I think I'm a professional player now. And I think like, I'm a team player, as you see, and I think I'm a team player because of my education, and the education I had was my father, my brother, and all these older colleagues I was picking up from different teams that, at the bigger the level I was going, like the more juice I was picking up, and that was, I can grow a lot more, but like, I feel that it was because of them that I'm on this level. For sure.
That's fascinating, man. Fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, you're the modern day complete midfielder, right? Like we can get into different players around the world, but like, you've got the vision of a number 10, right? The work rate of a number 8, the deep lying passes from midfielders of 6. I've used it on our broadcast. I watch you and I think of Xabi Alonso. That's what I think. I mean, I don't know what you think, but like for me, dead ball delivery is outstanding. You know, the ability to work. Talk to me a little bit about that, because everyone talks about what you do with the ball, but like you literally can play in a 2 regularly and sometimes be the 6 and be the deep holding player. Is that something over the last couple of years, particularly your education under John and at Porto, that you believe have gotten even better in your game defensively?
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm that type of midfielder where, as you said, you can't see if I'm a 6, if I'm a 8, if I'm a 10. Like there's obviously players where you look at them, you're like, this guy's a 6. This guy can't do 8. This guy's an 8. This guy can't do 6. This guy's a 10. But as I was growing, like no coach, and to be honest, I asked a lot. No coach could tell me which position I was in the midfield, because like I have the intensity of a number 8. I have like the 1-2 touches of a number 8, but then I'm not afraid to go get the ball to my center back as a number 6. And then at the third part of the field, I can make good passes to like a number 10. And they're just like, for me, you can do 6 or 8. Like you don't have a certain position. And there was moments where I doubted, like, do I prefer to say to myself, I'm a number 6 and grow as a number 6, or as a number 8 and grow as a number 8, or do I prefer to do both? Right? I prefer to do both. But there's certain levels where you're going to catch coaches where he likes his number 6 to have 190 something centimeters, or he likes his number 6 to be bigger. I'm not that type of guy, right? You know, so I can be a number 8 in his situation. Or there's a different coach that says, oh, I have a 2-meter guy, but he doesn't know how to pass the ball with, like, you know, move around the ball as a number 6. And this kid does. I'm going to put this kid, you know? So like for me, I'd rather be good at doing both. And even like during the game, let's talk about John, for example. I play as a 6, but if he wants to put some OPA, he could put me a little bit more up. No problem with that. If I play as a number 8, if he wants to put a number 8, also as example, I can drop to a number 6. If he wants to put a Tiva as a center back, can go to number 6. You know, so it's, for me, it's way better to do 2-3 positions. I think it's better for the coaches. It's better for everybody. And the player I used to look up a lot was David Silva from City back then. That was my guy, to be honest. That was my guy.
I used to call David Silva the ultimate space invader.
For sure. I mean, the calmness he has, the 1-2 touches, the quality passing, and this guy is what, 170 probably, 168 something, and like people get afraid to play against him.
Yeah, one of the best
crazy
ever,
player.
no doubt.
Crazy player. Player.
Talking about crazy players and world-class players, you're going to go to Qatar, my friend, and play midfield against Kevin De Bruyne and Luka Modric. How much you looking forward to that?
Oh, a lot. To be honest, I see this guy Modric, Champions League semifinals. Guy's being man of the match, and I'm gonna be 1v1 against him. You know, but at the same time, you know, there's only one ball, 11v11. I mean, anything can happen, right? They have the quality, but probably they're gonna underestimate Canada, and that's the worst thing you can do. So, I mean, can't wait for that day.
That's why you play the game, no? For sure.
I think it's going to be a very good opportunity to, you know, all the Canadians be around. I hope there's going to be a lot of Canadians in Qatar, fill stadiums, and just, I don't believe Canada ever scored a goal in the World Cup. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably be the first.
Men's World Cup, you're right. Yep.
Ever going to be the first team to have a win in a World Cup, be the first team to pass the group. Who knows? We're going to work for it for sure.
What's Vancouver going to be like for you guys? They're coming up. Obviously, we're taping this before you get there. How excited are you again? I know, talking to some of these players, that you know, you talk about the brothers. You go away, you go to your clubs, but you go back to, it's almost like playing with your friends, your best mates. Like, how excited are you to get back into this camp?
Yeah, for sure. A lot. Like, imagine I have vacations now, and I'm gonna stop my vacations to play for Canada. And my girlfriend's like, holy, like you're just on vacation and now you have to go. And I tell her a lot of times, when it's Canada and when it's like my brothers, I don't mind, you know, like I go happy. and it's gonna be like I've never been in Vancouver before. I know it's a beautiful stadium. I think the city is one of the best cities in the world. So I'm looking forward to it. Kava's already there. He speaks a lot good from Vancouver. Alekub's been there. Fonzi's been there. So I think it's gonna be nice for them to come back and just appreciate the moment. And I mean, in my opinion, it's always good for me to come back to Canada and just appreciate everything and have a nice time.
And how important is it, Steph, to turn the business head on a little bit now? Obviously, you did what you needed to do, World Cup qualifier, you did it with your buddies and you qualified and you've accomplished everything, but now it's business time. Now there's not that many games between now and the World Cup to get this done.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a good opportunity to prepare for the World Cup, but at the same time, we're at that point where, as I said in the beginning of this interview, we look at our team and we can win everything. I'm not gonna lie, we can win everything. You know, well, obviously World Cup it's hard, but I'm talking like CONCACAF trophies. We can win everything. The only thing we need to do is put our minds to it and everybody be available. You know, not that thing of, oh, it's vacation, I'm not going, I need to rest, I have an injury. No, like everybody has to come. And probably like back in the days, oh, I had a very long season, I need a rest, I'm not going to the Gold Cup, I'm not going to this game, I'm not going to that game. Like we need to think that a lot of players are 23, 24, 25, and we can win a lot of trophies for Canada in these years. Everybody just has to have their mind to it and be available. That's it.
Fantastic. Last one for you before I do a quick quiz at the end, a quick rapid fire. You mentioned your brother Mauro earlier. I talked to Mauro a lot. He's obviously now here with us in the Canadian Premier League, assisting Martin Nash. You're doing a terrific job, by the way. York United, the best defensive record in the Canadian Premier League. They're flying. How often do you speak to Mauro? Do you keep an eye on the Canadian Premier League and York United? And how delighted are you that Mauro's got involved in it?
Yeah, for sure. I speak with my brother every day about different situations. I can't see the games because 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. here, it's very hard. But in the morning, I check the result, text my brother, congratulations on winning. They win a game yesterday or 2 days ago, penalties against Pacific. He's good. I mean, he says the team is growing. He has a lot of young players. But I mean, he's loving every minute about it. And I wish I could follow CPL more, but like the time difference kills me a lot. But I mean, I'm a fan of York now, to be honest. So go York, let's win it.
I love that. A couple more with you. A couple of rapid fire questions. What's the favorite stadium you've ever played in?
That's a hard one.
You can take it different ways, right? Favorite, whether it's the most famous, the one that you played the best in, or the most special stadium is the one that stands out for you.
I like Porto Stadium a lot. I like the Iceteca Stadium because of the history it has. But I think one of I loved playing in Costa Rica this qualifying. Loved the stadium, the way it was so beautiful, the people around, the weather was amazing. So I'm gonna say 3: Porto, Iceteca, and the Costa Rica stadium. I don't even know the name. So
I love that.
Those 3.
Good for you. Who's the best player you've ever played against?
Played against. I'm gonna have to say Corona in his prime at Porto.
Really? That good?
That's crazy. Crazy. For me, one of the best players of the league back then.
Right.
Crazy.
Amazing. Who's your favorite teammates or favorite teammate that you've ever had? Club, international, since you were a kid, is there one favorite teammate or two? Yeah,
for sure. I'm a team guy, I love everybody, but Richie, this guy is crazy. Richie is crazy. I love Richie because we've been talking a lot. He's going through a little bit what I'm going through in terms of minutes. And after a game, if I don't play, he texts me, keep going. If he doesn't play, I text him, bro, keep going, train hard. It's almost ending, just go through it. Richie is one of those guys. Richie was one of those guys. I mean, it's hard to say one or two, but I believe men's national team, all of them. I don't have problems with nobody.
Yeah,
All of
yeah,
them.
I hear that all the time. And is the one game right now that you find in your memory that you think about more than ever in your career? Is there a match that you look back and think that's the one that I'm going to be the one talking about for a long time, or is that still to come maybe in Qatar?
I hope that's one to come in Qatar. I hope that's one to come in Qatar. So I'm gonna answer that. I hope so.
That's a great answer. Listen, man, you've been so generous with your time. It's been a pleasure to get to know you a little bit more. And I know so many people who watch our show and so many people that love Canada soccer are massive Stefano Eustáquio fans. They're there to celebrate when they can with you and cheer you on, follow your games over there. This country is just falling in love every day more and more with this game, and you're a massive part of it. So thank you for everything you've done for this country. Congratulations on an unbelievably successful season, unprecedented, my friend. And good luck in the camp in Vancouver.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.
I cannot thank Stefan enough for his time. Clearly, as you get to know him there, and as Canada needs to do, he is a wonderful, wonderful man. I hope, like me, after this, you can appreciate him even more. A top-class guy, and clearly, as I said in the interview, a player Canada have been waiting for a very long time. Much to like on this team, much like many of his teammates. At the end of the day, they're very likable guys. And if you're new to this series, just to let you know, on Beyond the Pitch here on this YouTube channel, you can watch many, in fact, over 14 or 15 interviews now with many of Stefan's teammates on Canada's World Cup qualifying squad. So many stories, so many great guys, and just an appreciation for them as they've made their journey to Qatar 2022. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for spending some time with me and, of course, with Stefan over the last half an hour or so. My next one is coming up this week will be with Junior Hoilett, another underappreciated Canadian sports star who's been magnificent for many years, playing his trade, obviously, in Europe. I'll be joined by Junior, and we'll be releasing that interview this week. But until then, enjoy the games wherever you're watching. God bless, take care, and we'll see you next time.